Good morning, Devils fans, and happy Hughesday, as we are finally back to a Devils game day, taking on the Vancouver Canucks tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern, as we start a Western road trip. Yay. I will not be watching this one live. I'll catch the replay in the morning, avoiding all spoilers, as I am generally really good at doing, and then give you my pretty much instantaneous reaction in the morning after watching the game. Hopefully, after a big Devils W carried by the Hughes brothers. Obviously, Jack and Luke in this case, as they will be taking on brother Quinn. The first time all three Hughes brothers will be on the ice together in the National Hockey League. Dad Jim, Mother Ellen will be in attendance, and it sounds like not too many other of the Hughes conglomerate, as they don't want to travel or stay in Vancouver. Why? Because it's a miserable, miserable place, and that's why they have miserable, miserable fans. Even though their team is playing quite well, and that's what this video is all about. Going to preview the game, let you know kind of what I think is going to be going on in this one, or at least give you an idea, if you haven't been paying much attention, what's been happening out in Vancouver land. Well, they've been playing fine, but they've been getting amazing results. Why is that? Well, they are an absolute shooting bender, the highest shooting percentage in the entire NHL. They don't need a lot of chances. They don't put up a massive amount of chances, but the ones that they do put up seem to always go in. And Demko is playing amazingly. One of, if not arguably, the best goalie in the National Hockey League right now. And really definitely carrying a lot of water for them as well, along again with the shooting percentage from their big boys. Quinn, JT Miller, Pedersen, all playing absolutely fantastically. So how do we match up with them? 5-on-5, they're so-so, fairly middle of the road. They've actually been on a bit of a downturn in this most recent stretch. I think their last 5 games or so have all seen them in the negative in that area. But again, they don't need to put up a lot of shot attempts because highest shooting percentage in the entire league. So do expect trying to control, likely to control a lot of the shot share in this one. Probably get a good amount of ozone time. But the problem is, the thing that they have at least been good at so far this year is what we're struggling with. And that is not needing a lot of shots to score on. Generally speaking, we're not giving up a lot of shots. We don't give up a lot of scoring chances. I went over this in yesterday's defensive video. We're really not giving up a ton. But the problem is, the few that we do give up seem to always find their way in the back of the net. And when you're going against the team with the best shooting percentage in the league, that's likely to continue. So we're going to need a very strong, not just defensive effort, but kind of dominant effort, unless our goalies somehow, someway finally find their footing and give us our first goalie steal of the season, which we are still looking for. From there, going line by line, their forwards, they have the one line. The JT Miller line actually does not really control play on the ice super well. It is their highest ice time line over the season. And obviously, they don't need to be controlling play for the most part, given the way they just put the puck in the net on basically no chances. But their other 3 lines do control play pretty well. That has been balanced out, though, by the fact that Quinn, when he's on the ice, which is a metric ton, by the way, they control play with Quinn on the ice with Hronik, but their other 2 pairings, they do not at all. So it's going to be about matchups. But we're the away team, so Vancouver gets to control the matchup, so it's something we're going to have to keep an eye out on. Our top 9 lines do very well, although looking at the lines from yesterday, we got Holla finally back. It looks like he's going to be thrown up with Jack and Toffoli, I believe. They are keeping the Palat, Nico, Bratt line together. We're going to get a Meyer, Mercer, Holtz line, which is either going to be the defensive black pit, heart attack, blood pressure raising, brutal line that it could be, or it could be offensively dominant, which would be awesome. And then Mikey is back on the 4th line with Bastian and Lazar. Hopefully that gets Bastian the kick in the butt that he needs, because that could be a really, really strong 4th line. Pairings, Nemec is still in. He's going to be matching up with Siegenthaler. Technically the top line. He did get the most minutes. We'll see how that works out in this one, given that we do not have the matchup preference like we did in Jersey. And then same second line with Ball Marino, who has definitely struggled for most of the season. Still going to hope that they can put it together here at some point, because we really need them to. And then Luke Miller, arguably one of the best pairings, if not the best pairing in the entire hockey league. So would love to see them get a ton of ice, especially because I just picked up Luke in one of my leagues, and that would be nice. So special teams, Vancouver's power play is 4th. From actual production standpoint in the National Hockey League, we are still 1st. They actually do put up a lot of really strong chances. It's not just smoke and mirrors there. They are doing quite well. Their penalty kill is ranked basically right there along with ours from an actual production standpoint, but the underlying numbers actually says that ours is better. They do give up a lot more chances against high danger, just raw chances as well. So keep an eye out on that. If you match it up that way, we should have the advantage in the special teams area. But we know that the penalty kill has had a really rough stretch recently. But thankfully, our power play does continue to click, even if it's not at that almost 50% pace. First and second units are pretty bonkers with Timo healthy. They're just really strong first and second units. The first unit would love to see some production out of them, obviously. Goalies, they have the huge advantage. It doesn't matter who we're starting. I'm going to assume they have Demko. It's not even close. Demko clears Vitek and Schmid by so many levels. It's crazy. So we're going to have to pepper them a bit, get some cross-crease stuff, and just really hopefully find that offensive firepower, which should come from the one and only Jack Hughes. In 6 games in his career versus Vancouver, he has 10 points. He's only been held scoreless in one of them, and that was the second game. If you remember his very first NHL goal coming against the Vancouver Canucks. And in the last 4 games versus Vancouver, he has at least 2 points with 3 in the last one that we played them towards the end of last season. So now with Luke on the ice with him, it's not just, oh, I'm up against Quinn, I'm going turbo mode. Luke could be out there with him as well, and I'm expecting a big game out of those two boys. That's really going to be it. It's pretty straightforward on this one. Their goalie in Demko is amazing. Their big boys are putting up big boy numbers. Quinn, JT Miller, Pedersen, at one point were the top 3 scorers in the NHL. Obviously, that is shaken up a little bit. Quinn is on a Norris path still. And so, yeah, we cannot give that power play. I can almost guarantee will score on us if we give it to them. We probably score on them if they give it to us, but obviously Demko can be a difference maker there. 5-on-5, we should control play a bit, but while I almost guarantee we'll have the majority of chances, as I said, they do not need a lot of them to put the puck in the net. They do a lot of seam passes, lots of cross-ice stuff, one-timers, and that stuff has been killing us this season. So got to be on the lookout for that, especially being on the road. They get last chance, they'll get matchup preference, and so it's going to be a tough one. This is probably the toughest one of the road trip. Coming out with even a point in this one would be huge. Obviously, would love to see the second one, and that is what we're going to go for. I think we are the better team than Vancouver. It really is probably going to come down to the goaltending, which has been the deciding factor in almost all of our games this season. Going to go ahead and call it there for this one. Nice little preview. Let's just get right into it. Big game. Maybe I'll catch the start of the first, but 10 o'clock start's brutal. I mean, that's puck drop at almost, it's what, 10:08, almost 10:10. First period ending closer to 11. Yeah, I'm not making that with 2 kids under 2 years old. So, yeah, I'll watch the game in the morning and then basically give my reaction directly after that. So, see you guys tomorrow morning as always and forever. Let's go Devils.